it's a whole different.
We ain't emotions. We just do that to do it. We can hit bitch, never talk to her.
Right.
And we know doing shit.
I always supported you because I fucked with your movement. Like I fucked with you with what you had on, what you had going on. Like talking about switched up. You get in your feelings because I'm on Clubhouse and they asked me, I can't even believe I'm doing this. We on my
Latto just flipped the whole internet upside down, and it's got everyone whispering that she might have just stepped straight into a marriage mess. Fans are saying she's about to blow up a whole union, and the drama is wild. During her latest performance, the crowd couldn't stop pointing out one thing, that little bump that had folks zooming in on every photo. Social media went crazy, with fans swearing up and down that Latto might be carrying 21 Savage's baby. The timing, too perfect. The chemistry, too real. The history between them, let's just say this rumor had receipts. But while the internet was celebrating what they were calling Latto's baby era, things got dark behind the scenes. Word on the street is 21 Savage's wife wasn't having it at all. Sources claim she didn't just clap back, she allegedly made moves, and let's just say the streets are talking about her having Latto jump. Yep, that's the word. A setup that might just come back to bite her big time. Now, things have completely spiraled out of control. 21 Savage is reportedly furious, threatening to file for divorce after the situation exploded online. Insiders say he's been going off behind closed doors, tired of all the headlines dragging his name through the mud. Meanwhile, Latto's online trying to clean it all up, tweaking pictures, deleting posts, and pretending everything's cool. But the internet never forgets. The wife's standing tall, Latto's denying, and the whole industry's watching this chaos unfold live, one post at a time. What started as just one viral performance has now exploded into one of the wildest scandals of the year. The internet's eating it up, and honestly, who can blame them? This whole big mama moment from Latto has officially become legendary. So here's where things really start to make sense. We finally understand why Latto felt bold enough to confirm that she and 21 Savage were actually together. She stood on stage, smiling like she had nothing left to hide, and said it loud, "Thank you to my man and my man, thank you to my man." That was her soft launch gone public, and fans went absolutely insane. For years, these two denied the rumors, dodged the questions, and acted like the world was tripping. But now, Latto just spilled her own tea, and she didn't even flinch. The thing is, not everyone's buying it. Some fans pointed out how too perfect the reveal felt, calling it a setup. They swear Latto staged the whole thing, even tipping off TMZ herself so she could control the narrative. The theory goes that she wanted to finally own the relationship before anyone else could leak the story, but others called total cap on that theory, saying it made zero sense. Why would she spend years hiding him only to expose herself like that now? Well, now we might know exactly why. According to multiple insiders, Latto might actually be pregnant, and that could be the real reason behind her sudden confidence. The glow, the timing, the energy. Fans swear it all adds up. It's starting to look like her public confession wasn't just about love, it was about preparing the world for something way bigger. And that right there explains everything. If Latto's really expecting, it totally makes sense why she want to come clean and proudly tell the world, 21 is my man, and my man for real. No more hiding, no more sneaking around. She's claiming him publicly this time, and the internet can't stop watching. The buzz really took off after Latto's recent show in Japan, where fans swore she looked way too pregnant to ignore. Now, of course, some people tried to play it off, saying maybe she was just a little bloated, too much ramen or a long flight puff-up situation. Others even joked it might have just been that time of the month. But once those concert photos hit social media, it was a wrap. The way her outfit fit, the curve of her stomach, fans said it looked way more like a baby bump than regular bloating. But hold up, it gets even crazier. Another clip leaked online of Latto hanging out with Saucy Santana, and fans went into full detective mode again. In that video, she had her hand resting softly on her stomach, almost like she was guarding something precious. And she had that glow, that happy, calm energy people say only expectant moms have. She wasn't hiding it either. She looked peaceful, smiling like she knew the world would soon find out anyway. So tell me, what do you see? Because to a lot of people online, Latto's not just glowing, she's glowing for two. Yo, even Saucy Santana, the material girl himself, couldn't believe what he was seeing. Word is, he actually lifted up Latto's shirt real quick just to make sure she wasn't rocking one of those fake pregnancy bellies for attention. But judging from his shocked face and Latto's loud laugh, it definitely wasn't giving prop belly energy. That bump looked real.
How was in your stomach? You know what's in there. My Latto, stop playing with me.
And now everything's starting to click. If Latto really is pregnant, then it totally makes sense why she suddenly wanted to go public about her relationship with 21 Savage. She's done hiding, because if you're carrying a man's child, the last thing you want to be seen as is some unclaimed side chick out here with a baby bump and no title. Latto's been in that side piece lane for a while now, and she clearly wasn't about to let that label follow her into motherhood, so maybe those fans were right when they said she called TMZ on herself, not to start drama, but to take control of her own story. And let's not forget, Latto's been open about her dream life before. In her Cosmopolitan interview, she said, "I want to be a mom so bad. Moms are superheroes. I won't feel like I've really made it until I have my kids. I'm married and I've got my house out in the country, just ducked off with my little family." Sounds like she's speaking her dream into reality, and it might just be happening faster than anyone thought. In another interview, Latto opened up about wanting to do things the traditional way. She made it crystal clear that she wants her kids to grow up in a two-parent household. She's been saying from day one that she doesn't want to be labeled a baby mama. Nope, she wants that ring, that stability, that family picture-perfect setup. And honestly, she wasn't playing when she said she was serious about marrying 21 Savage.
Like, do you see yourself getting married?
I do.
Me
I
too.
do. I'm big into marriage and, like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to do stuff like the traditional way.
Me too.
I'm
We be on the same accord.
And it might be because we come from a two-parent household.
And they've
like,
been together forever.
Forever. Being together forever don't mean it's perfect either. I'm like learning from my parents, learning from my own experiences, whatever. Like, I want to do stuff the traditional way, get married, have a baby.
Yeah.
But here's where it gets tricky. She's not exactly ready to confirm the pregnancy just yet. On Instagram, she clapped back at all the rumors, posting a photo of her waist looking extra snatched with the caption, "I ate too much Wagyu and ramen." Girl, okay, but fans weren't buying it for a second, because let's be real, celebs have been running this same play for years. Remember when Halle Bailey tried to gaslight the entire internet while she was pregnant with little Halo? She was photoshopping her bump, calling fans weird for pointing out her pregnancy glow, and then boom, she popped up with a whole baby 9 months later. So Latto's little denial didn't exactly convince the internet detectives, because the evidence, it's right there, clear as daylight. Her glow, her energy, her sudden mood shift, it's all adding up. And if that wasn't enough, insiders are already out here spilling every drop of tea. They clearly didn't get the memo that Latto's trying to keep things on the down low. The streets are talking loud, and it's getting harder for her to hide what's right in front of everyone's face. According to an insider who spoke to Media Takeout, things between Latto and 21 Savage are heating up in every way. The source said they're both happy, Latto's glowing, and 21's being really protective. But the same insider also admitted that the couple's a little nervous about how the world's gonna take the news, especially with all the messy marriage talk floating around. Now, when folks say marriage stuff, they're not just talking about Latto daydreaming about walking down the aisle. They're talking about that little inconvenient truth that 21 Savage is already married. Yup, you heard that right. Allegedly, 21's got a whole wife and kids, and her name is Kiana Joseph. The wild part, nobody really knows how deep their situation goes. Some claim Kiana's been his long-term baby mama. Others say the two tied the knot only after his ICE arrest a few years back to keep him from getting deported. Word on the street is that whole marriage might have been a contract deal just to secure citizenship. Now, if that's true, that's a major legal risk, because marrying someone just for immigration benefits, that's straight up illegal. But here's where things get even juicier. Apparently, 21 Savage has already gotten his green card, meaning he's officially a permanent U.S. resident now. And just when everyone thought that was old news, a blind item popped up confirming it, saying the foreign-born blackjack rapper has always kept his relationship with the one-name rapper secret because he doesn't want people to know he married a woman for a green card. Now, you don't have to be a detective to figure out who that's about, but fans didn't miss a beat. They noticed that 21 Savage and Latto started getting a lot bolder once he got that green card. Suddenly, the couple stopped being so secretive. He wasn't hiding her anymore. They were flying out together, taking vacations, posting similar backgrounds, all of it. Just this month, the two even got spotted on what looked like a romantic getaway. Still, here's the problem. Even if he doesn't technically need Kiana anymore, that marriage is still a legal tie, and it's about to make this whole baby rumor 10 times messier. Even though 21 Savage might think he's in the clear, he still needs to stay on Kiana's good side, or she could blow up his whole world. Because here's the thing, if that marriage was really just for immigration purposes, that counts as immigration fraud, and it could straight up get his green card snatched back. And word is, Kiana's already threatening to report him to ICE if he tries to leave her for Latto now that those pregnancy rumors are circling. Insiders are spilling that she's preparing to claim 21 lied to her and manipulated her into marrying him just to stay in the U.S. If she really does that, he could be facing serious heat, even deportation, green card or not. Folks are saying he's acting untouchable, but if the wrong person in the system looks into his file, it could all go south real fast. But it doesn't stop there, because apparently Kiana didn't just make threats online, she made moves in real life. Rumors say she allegedly had Latto jumped as a warning shot to remind her exactly who she's dealing with. That's right, she's not the type to just sit back quietly while another woman plays house with her husband. Up until now, Kiana's been low-key, never chasing clout or trying to flex her connection to one of the biggest rappers in the game. People thought she was calm, classy, maybe even a little too quiet. But turns out that quiet energy was just the calm before the storm, because the moment Latto started popping out and calling 21 her husband, Kiana apparently decided it was time to remind everyone who's really got the ring. Word on the streets out of Atlanta says Kiana used to run the block back in the day, and she's not someone to test. Latto may talk tough in her lyrics, but when it came down to it, insiders claim she was no match for Kiana's energy. Rumor has it, Latto got left with bruises, knots on her head, and almost lost a tooth in the altercation. That's how serious it got. Kiana clearly isn't playing about her man, and now everyone's wondering, is this the wake-up call Latto needed to finally back away from 21 Savage before things spiral even worse? Unless Latto wants to risk catching another round, she might need to chill, because this whole thing has turned into a straight-up war zone.
Wait, 90s Chanel, my boy. Running through these New York streets, about to go have this dinner with my husband.
Oh, wait. So are you tired of people asking about you know who?
No.
21. Oh, so you're not tired of hearing about 21? We love you, girl.
But here's the twist. Apparently, 21 Savage is not here for Kiana putting hands on Latto. Multiple insiders say things at home between him and Kiana have gotten explosive. One source claims that 21 and Kiana have been arguing non-stop with shouting matches shaking the house. Allegedly, he's even packed up and moved out of their shared bedroom, now sleeping in the guest room like a man on thin ice. The tension is reportedly so bad that it's confusing their kids, who don't even understand why the energy in the house feels so off lately. And get this, the same insider says 21's been threatening to leave Kiana if she doesn't apologize to Latto. Wild, right? Because at the end of the day, Kiana's the one holding all the cards here. She's got the legal leverage, the marriage papers, and the power to make one phone call that could ruin his whole setup in the US. If she picks up that phone and calls ICE, 21 could be back on a plane to the UK faster than he can say savage mode. And it's not like they're sending him back in style either. No private jet, no business class. He'd be cramped in economy with the rest of us regular folks. So honestly, he's in no position to be barking orders or threatening to walk out. But let's talk about the double standard here for a second, because 21 getting mad at Kiana for having Latto jumped is kind of hypocritical. Why? Because Latto did the exact same thing not too long ago. You remember when she allegedly had that exotic dancer Gorgeous Doll jumped outside the club? Yeah, that situation blew up after Gorgeous Doll went public saying Latto sent a few people to handle her after finding out she was messing with 21. So now 21's mad at Kiana for doing the same thing Latto once did for him. Make it make sense. These three are tangled in so much chaos, you can't even tell who's fighting for love and who's fighting for revenge anymore. Gorgeous Doll later claimed she was actually pregnant at the time of that alleged attack and said the fight caused her to suffer a miscarriage. Tragic if true. But here's where it got even messier. Latto didn't even deny it. In fact, she kind of bragged about it online like it was nothing. Everything started spiraling after a random TikToker who was beefing with Latto's Lash Tech posted a video trying to expose her, but in the middle of her rant, she slipped up and name-dropped Latto, and that's when things went left. Latto jumped into the comments ready to defend herself, but in doing so, she accidentally exposed way more than she should have. She wrote, "Who you describing? Cause it's not me. Get off them pages, you losing your marbles. Last be spoken. My man on TikTok got whooped outside the club in the A. You read that too?" That was basically her confirming the rumor in her own words. The woman fired back saying, "I'm losing my marbles while you're threatening someone on TikTok over a lash is a choice. Hope you heal." And at that time, 21 Savage stayed silent. He didn't say a word, not one defense. But fast forward to now, Kiana gives Latto a taste of her own medicine, and suddenly 21's furious, yelling about divorce and acting like the victim. It's giving double standards all over again. The same man who watched in silence before is now losing his mind because the tables turned. Now everything's flipped on its head. The side chick might be turning into the baby mama, the wife's turned into a straight-up street fighter, and 21's stuck in the middle, watching both of his worlds collide in 4K. Latto's embarrassed, Kiana's unbothered, and 21's rage doesn't mean much when one phone call to ICE could end everything he's built in the U.S.
21 Savage. He's gonna be there and he's gonna be performing too. That's fun, right?
Latto might have just learned the hard way that playing house with a married man, especially one whose wife is from Atlanta, never ends pretty. The real question now is, will Kiana actually pull that trigger and expose 21's immigration secrets? Or will 21 risk it all to keep Latto and that rumored baby safe? Because one thing's clear, somebody's about to lose everything. And trust me, this drama is far from over. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next wild twist in this story. See you in the next one.